welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a 37-week pregnancy update. Now, I know I haven't been doing updates for my whole pregnancy, but I was supposed to. But anyway, I didn't get around to it, so here I am now. This is my second pregnancy, and I think it's going to be, well, not I think it's going to be, and it has been a little different from my first pregnancy. For this pregnancy, I have been feeling a little bit more tired, especially in this third trimester. I have been really exhausted, and I don't know if it's because I already have a toddler, but yeah, I've been a little bit more tired than I normally am, and it's probably as well because I don't sleep as good at night. It's a little uncomfortable now with the bump. I don't remember feeling this way in my first pregnancy, but oh well. I guess I'm closer to the end now than I was before, so it'll be over soon. But yeah, for this pregnancy, I haven't been sleeping as well. And so at night, I find that I can't really get as comfortable as I normally would. And I guess it's just the bump is kind of in the way. Now, I'm not saying that I don't like being pregnant or anything, but it's just at the point now where the bump just, yeah, makes everything pretty much uncomfortable. So I have a maternity pillow actually that I use, but it doesn't really seem to help that much either. I guess I'm just tired sleeping on my side too, because I'm generally not a regular side sleeper. Now that I think about it, I actually like to sleep on my stomach most of the time. And so, yeah, it's been difficult for me having to sleep on my side every night. And I find that I have to sleep on my left side, which is obviously the recommended side, because when I sleep on the right side, I tend to get some numbness for real. And I don't think I had that during my first pregnancy. I think I was perfectly fine, and I didn't have issues with sleeping on either side. And so sometimes I guess what I do now too is I have the maternity pillow, but I also prop myself up a little higher so that I could sleep on my back to a certain degree. And so that alleviates me having to sleep on my side like 100% of the night, because sleeping on my side, like I said, isn't really that comfortable for me. So yeah, that's it for my sleeping and my tiredness. I guess that has a lot to do with each other. And then too, what I found out as well, which I don't know, but I did look it up a little bit, is that, well, this time I'm having a boy and last time I had a girl, but what I did find out is that boys require a little bit more energy than girls typically do. So I mean, I don't know, you guys can leave comments and let me know how true that is, or if you actually did experience that in any of your pregnancies. But yeah, when I looked it up online, it said that, I know in terms of I think it's food and stuff, not food, energy, you exert about 10% more energy than you do with girls. So maybe that plays into my tiredness as well. And I guess with me exercising and stuff like that, that probably contributes to it as well. So far in this pregnancy, I have gained maybe about 25 to 30 pounds, I would say. I can't remember my exact starting weight, but I don't think, based on what I'm remembering my last weight being when I went on the scale before my pregnancy, yeah, I would say it's been about 25 to 30 pounds. And actually for these last few weeks when I went to my doctor's visits, my weight has actually been holding pretty much steady. And so even though the baby is growing, I essentially haven't really been putting on any weight. Now, I don't know why, but I have still been eating normally, and I don't overdo it when I eat, and I am exercising, so maybe that helps a little bit. But yeah, it's not like I'm starving or anything, but my weight has been holding steady, and so I'm pretty pleased with that, because yeah, it makes it easier, I guess, once you deliver the baby to get back into your normal size clothing. And like well, no, I didn't mention it in this video, but I haven't bought any maternity clothing. I'm wearing a lot of my regular items that are more maternity friendly. So I wear a lot of dresses, I wear some leggings, I wear elastic waist pants, or I wear bodycon skirts and that sort of stuff. Things that are easy to throw on and that are comfortable, that don't really, not compress the belly, but I don't know how to explain it. But things that are just comfortable and don't make you feel like you're tight and squeezed and and something to that effect. Because you know, like during pregnancy, you're already going through a lot, and so you don't want anything that's not comfortable on you. And you just, at this point especially, I just want to relax and be comfortable with whatever I put on. Anything I wear is easygoing and it's not restrictive, and it doesn't feel like too much to me. So what symptoms have I been having? Besides the tiredness, I'm definitely having pregnancy brain. I experienced it with my daughter the first time, but for some reason it just seems like it's worse to me this time. I find myself writing a lot of notes and putting a lot of things on my calendar to remind myself of different things that I have to do. But yeah, like, anyway, I'm just hoping that it comes back, my memory comes back a little better than it was before, after the pregnancy is done. So hopefully this doesn't linger around for a while, or I'll have to keep writing notes to myself and little reminders and things in my cell phone to keep me focused. And what else have I been doing? I've been peeing a lot, which I guess is expected. So my baby's already head down, obviously. He's been head down for a while, actually. And so that's always been a good thing. But yeah, it's like I'm constantly going to the bathroom. That can be a little annoying, but it comes with the territory, and I guess it's something that I should expect. I've also been having some headaches on and off, and my sinuses have been flaring up. I find that my sinuses this pregnancy have been the worst. And it's so difficult because, you know, they don't recommend you take too many things. And so for me, it's just like constantly being congested and feeling like you can't breathe sometimes with the baby already squeezing and putting pressure on your lungs and things like that. So it eased up a little bit, and it's not so bad as it was before. So it's a bit more manageable now, and I don't really like to take Benadryl or anything like that. So I've been trying to stay unmedicated for most of the pregnancy. Only if it's like an extreme situation where I really just can't handle, I would take the Benadryl or something like that to help with the sinuses. I've had a little swelling. I find that my hands were getting swollen a lot this time. Oh, and I also had some swelling in one of my ankles, which I didn't have before. But I think for me, I wasn't drinking enough water. And so I find that when I do up my water consumption, it's a little better for me. And I don't swell as much as I would have previously. So I try to keep my water intake pretty high to alleviate any swelling issues. And once I stick with that, I'm generally okay in terms of swelling. I've also gotten a couple of stretch marks on my stomach. It's nothing to complain about, and I believe that they may have been there from my first pregnancy because they don't seem to be getting any worse. But either way, if they're not, I did suffer from some dry skin really early on in the pregnancy, and I guess it was due to the hormonal changes. But I typically use between bio oil and Palmer's cocoa butter, and I also use coconut oil as well. So I find that between these three items, they tend to keep my skin relatively moist. Now, luckily for me, I guess I don't live in a colder climate, so I don't really have to worry about dry skin so much. But I did find that when the weather was a little cooler, and, well, not the weather, temperature. When the temperatures were a little cooler and we wouldn't have as much sunny days as we did, my skin would dry out a bit easier. And so I typically like to stay moisturized to help with my stretch mark reduction. And like for me, I could always feel when my skin is dry because it just feels like it's pulling and it's tight. And so I tend to keep a little container with me of moisturizer so I can put it on whenever I feel like any dryness or any itchiness come in to avoid me from scratching. Because I find too, like if I scratch, I think like that's gonna irritate the skin and cause the stretch marks to come. So I like to keep my skin moisturized to prevent that for me. So what am I gonna be doing the rest of this pregnancy? For me, I'm gonna start, well not start, but I have been, I guess you can say, nesting to a certain degree. I am finalizing my hospital bag and I'm trying to put everything in there. Well, not everything, because there are a few small items that I'm gonna be taking out of my purse, obviously, like my headphones, my chargers, that kind of stuff that I'll be taking with me to the hospital. Smaller items that I'll be taking to help pass the time by while I'm there. Now I am scheduled for a cesarean. I had a cesarean with my first child and it was an emergency cesarean. She was in distress and it turned out that the cord was around her neck. And for this one I was trying to go for a VBAC, but it turns out that the cord is wrapped around his neck as well, and this time it's actually wrapped around twice. And so my doctor did an ultrasound, and when he checked, the blood flow and everything through the cord is still fine, but he just doesn't want to take that risk and have him go into fetal distress and then have to end up doing an emergency section just for me to do the VBAC. So I guess because I had a prior cesarean, even though I wasn't completely happy with it, we decided this week that I would schedule a cesarean, and so that's what it's gonna be. I prefer that because I just think that when you get induced, like that automatically just sends you into a cesarean. So yeah, so I think that's it for me for this week for my pregnancy update. I don't think I had anything else going on. As you can hear, my sinuses are flaring up now because I am congested. I do sound congested especially. But you can let me know any thoughts or comments that you have about this video, and let me know what's going on with you in your pregnancy at this point. If you're in your third trimester, first trimester, or second, what symptoms and things that you're experiencing. And yeah, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button, leave me any comments, and click the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching and have a good day.